Hey, I was originally gonna do a video on the comic strip series I made as a kid, but that's gonna have to go on hold for 2 weeks, because as I write this script, I'm on my way to judge high school novice state debate! And now my brain's too preoccupied to focus on anything else. So guess what I'm gonna talk about today instead? Being in debate. Being in debate! Cue the intro card. Every high school has that one activity that they're good at over anything else. You know, that one thing that they have trophy cases for and posters of and plaques for all over the school. For most schools, it's like their football team or their basketball team or, I don't know, their swim team. My school didn't have a swim team, so I don't know how big of a deal those things are. Well, for my high school, the team that consistently outperformed all others in terms of state wins and plaques and trophies was the chess team. Nah, just kidding. We don't have a competitive chess team either. We're a very small school. My high school's shining glory was the debate team! I mean, our forensics team was good too, and so was our cross-country team and FCCLA teams and choirs, but I'm making a point, okay? Anyway, our debate team was pretty bomb, and I'm not just saying that because my dad was the coach. And despite my not really having a work ethic and not particularly wanting to be on the team after my sophomore year, I was on the debate team throughout all of high school. And I am just saying that because my dad was the coach. Now let me just say that there are actually a couple different types of competitive debate that go on at the high school level. There's Lincoln Douglas debate, public forum debate, world debate, and others. But the one my school focused on, and is the most popular from where I grew up, was called policy debate. And that's the type I'm going to talk to you all about today. The rules of policy debate are quite simple. Two teams of two debaters go up against each other. One is the affirmative team, and they start off the round presenting to the judge what is called the case, which is pretty much an 8-minute speech about this idea, why they think it should happen, why isn't it currently happening, which is called inherency, how they're going to do it, which is called solvency, what benefits can happen from doing it, which are called advantages, and what bad things will happen if they don't, which are called harms.
The other team, the negative team, set out to prove why and how many parts of the affirmative team's plan on case, which is debating all the stuff the judge had earlier on case, redemption, socially communicating from the debate, these are the rather attacking rules on case, which is subject to the right time, technicality, which is different from the other case, doesn't have to follow the anyway, the rather attacking argue, which is right, specific data, process, stuff like technicality, with the reason of the asking case, that is one thing the most category sound out debates are matter of relation critiques.
What is debate, really? What's the point of anything if we're all gonna die someday?
And so much more. So this is a lot of ways to approach these with the action questions about the arguments and arguments and arguments and arguments again in the red which is right on the order which means something like the members against all the balance right stand around and don't say what's in the what's about the general right to the first decision after each time is fine. I'm not going to the general right to give the best of the average is fine.
Got all that? No? Good! You're ready for your first debate round. Have fun! Don't worry, the more you debate, the more you'll understand it! Right, coach? I'm a good teacher. Now that we're all on the same page, let me tell you why I had such a love-hate relationship with debate in high school. In the form of a constructive speech! Result, the party that is Lauren makes art should have substantially decreased all participation in the activity known as competitive policy debate during high school. The affirmative team, believe that debate is exhausting and awful, and therefore Lauren Makes Art should not have had to have participated in it as long as what did occur. I begin the foundations for this case, starting with observation 1, inherent loss of free time. The thing about debate is that you not only have to spend significant amount of time both in debate class and after school filing evidence to argue and practicing giving speeches, but the tournaments themselves either started Friday afternoon and went all the way through Saturday evening, or lasted all day Saturday starting at 8 in the morning. So if you were going to a Saturday-only tournament at a high school that was like, say, an hour drive away, you had to wake up at like 6 a.m., get dressed up in your nicest clothes, like the kind you would wear if you worked in like, say, a fancy office building, be at your school by 6:30 in the morning, get on the school bus with a bunch of other kids who were well-dressed yet half asleep, and arrive at the tournament half an hour early so that you could brush your hair and look presentable and awake and practice your speeches, and then find the room for your first round so that you would be there by the time it started at 8 o'clock. I remember in high school listening to people who weren't in debate say that if they had to wake up on Saturday before noon that they would die, and all I could think was, by noon on Saturday, I'm already well into my third round of a debate tournament that I'm at against my will, so you don't even get to complete. Observation 2. Solvents. Boxes. You gotta have somewhere to put all your files, right? Where are you gonna put them? A folder? A binder? Haha, no, you underestimate how many papers you're gonna be printing off, you silly Billy. You get a box! You know those plastic boxes you use for extra storage with a lid on them and everything? Yeah, you get to carry that around. No, not even one. You get 2. 5 if you take this seriously. And you gotta carry them all to every round. What's that? The school the attorney's at has stairs? Well, I hope you're prepared to fall down them and spill all your files in the process, because it's gonna happen to you at least once, if not several times. I love debate. I love it so much. Now, even since my graduating from high school, debate boxes have actually gone by the wayside in favor of laptops, which makes sense. Less dead trees to make paper, less dead debaters from carrying boxes up the stairs, 10 out of 10. But I still had to suffer, and you all get to hear me complain about it, so there you go. Observation 3. Harm. The actual debate rounds. Do you ever get in those arguments where you feel deep down that you're right, but the other person insists that they are instead, and no matter how much you try to prove your point, they never come around to agree with you? Imagine doing that 4 to 8 times with complete strangers and crank the pettiness level up 400%. That's debate. One big ol' intellectual catfight. And let me tell you, debate gets ugly fast. Speaking from experience, some debaters completely lack courtesy or self-control when it comes to emotionally crushing their competition. And it's one thing when those people are actually good at speaking and making arguments, but when they aren't, it's pretty hard to sit through. And that, coupled with the fact that the winner isn't even decided on a point system, but instead on how the one judge in the back of the room's subjective opinion views the round. And your judge can be anywhere from an expert debate coach with decades of experience to someone who just learned that morning of the tournament that the activity even existed. It's awful! How would you like it if you lost a game of, basketball to a team of worse players with a lower score and an unsportsmanlike attitude because the referee, that's never watched a game of basketball in their life, liked the color of their uniforms more than yours? That'd be ridiculous, right? Well, that's debate! FYI, there's tons of other problems with debate, but since you all are novice debaters, I'll go easy on you and spare the crazy details, since this is probably a lot to take in, and totally not me making an excuse to keep this video as short as possible and therefore easier to animate. That being said, with the implementation of the affirmative plan, I also gain the following advantages. Advantage 1, less headaches from overstressing about debate. Advantage 2, less fatigue from overstressing about debate. Advantage 3, I don't know, man. I'm getting tired of this metaphor. I didn't even take debate seriously enough when I did the activity. What makes you think I'd be motivated enough to do a loving parody? Especially since writing this part of the script, I've done nothing but judge debate rounds all weekend, and therefore my brain is fried to a crisp. Judging debate is also its own awful animal, let me tell you. And with that, Judge, I, the affirmative team, believe you should vote for my incredibly advantageous plan to allow the party that is Lord Makes Art to stop competing in policy debate, and I now open myself up for cross-examination. Oh. That's right, there's no other team. Or judge. I'm not even at a debate tournament. See what debate does to you? It makes you delusional! I've been out of high school for years, and my brain still thinks I'm in a debate season! This is a disease! A horrible, horrible disease! There's no escape from the madness! Avoid my fate before it's too late! Dear Father, please understand that this is a parody. I did enjoy debate at least a little bit, but not as much as forensics, as you know very well.